Ladies and gents, almost as you react, and this is the Garden of Nurgle, Warhammer Fantasy, not 40k fantasy. By the channel of the Templin Institute, a box with an overview of the festering lore that surrounds the realm of the Plague Lord, the Garden of Nurgle. Well, how much difference it is between fantasy and 40k about Nurgles and the Chaos Gods. Kind of feels similar with all the Warhammer 3 videos I've watched that covers, Warhammer Fantasy. Chaos Gods kind of feels similar, but I guess we'll see. Never done a Warhammer Fantasy lore video, so this is the first one, I guess, from Templin Institute, so let's watch it. I'm gonna get creeped out, aren't I?
There comes a moment in the life of every mortal creature when it begins to understand its time in the world is limited. For most, the careless vibrancy of youth fades into melancholic reminiscence, sober.
Is this taken from Warhammer 3? The YouTube says it's the total Warhammer 3 video. YouTube is detecting that, so I guess this is from that.
Reflections on things they are unable to resist or change. Yet some grow obsessed with feelings of helplessness and despair. From this, a deep bitterness can take hold. The step from helplessness to bitterness is a small one, but the first on a dark path that has only one destination. Many have walked this winding trail, though only a very few will ever make it to the land of the Plague Lord and witness with decaying eyes the Garden of Nurgle. Each of the dark gods of chaos have their own particular spheres of influence within the Aether, dimensions of pure sorcery and emotion, separate from the physical world. The true splendor and horror of these places are beyond the perception of living minds that can only recoil from its impossible landscapes. Therefore, no two descriptions of the Garden of Nurgle or any aspect of the realm of chaos will be exactly alike. But the land of the Plague Lord reflects the whims of its master, and certain elements will always be present. The garden is a paradise of death, decay, and pestilence. Every pox and affliction to ever enact their sufferings upon mortal beings is present here. Noxious fumes bubble up from putrid swamps, deep enough to swallow any who might dare trespass.
He's using the words just right to, I guess, creeps you up, bubbles up, and this and that. Ah, God. Yeah, whenever, even in Warhammer 3 videos that I was reacting, whenever something about Nurgle comes, it's like, holy shit, everything's just gross, right? Everything just like,
Trespass. What little ground exists is nothing more than decomposing mulch and endless corpses in the midst of uncontrolled decay. Everywhere, death feeds on the dying. But Nurgle is also the god of life and rebirth, and his garden reflects the delight he holds for the cycle of existence. It is overgrown with plants and trees from 1,000 worlds across 100 realities, every one vibrant in autumn splendor. Bright sprays of color, deep reds, blues, yellows, and purples streak across venomous leaves, tangled vines, and flesh-tearing thorns. The very air is alive with glowing spores and enormous clouds of black flies. Blistered tongues sprout up from the earth, and trees made of living skin weep tears of pus and blood. The mouldering earth is ravaged by insects, infested with twisted slugs, centipedes, and thousands of other creatures that defy imagination.
Yeah, right.
They gnaw on the bones of the dead, filling the garden with the sickly sounds of merriment. No true map of the garden exists, for every continent and mote of dust is dependent on the whims of the Plague Lord, which change and flow like the seasons. It is said to border the realm of the sorcerer, though when Nurgle's power grows, so too does the grandeur of the garden.
Okay.
It can burst into the domain of Tzeentch, and perhaps at times even cast its tendrils into the lands of Khorne or Slaanesh.
Okay.
Inevitably, however, the garden will recede, and the cycle will begin anew.
So you can break out to other Chaos Gods' realm too? Huh, that's the first time I heard of it.
Fluid as the garden might be, there exist many fetid landmarks, perpetual sites of power or misery, even if their exact location shifts and wanders within its borders. The rotten reaches, the fungus lands, the fields of tooth and bone, and the abyssal sump all lie within the greater garden. Each is an aspect of Nurgle given preeminent form, but other, stranger places might be found within its depths. The Septic Isle is thought to be the heart of all disease, surrounded by oceans of filth that stretch to every horizon. The skull of Argus, greatest.
So yeah, a guy who has OCD, if you send the person inside the Garden of Nurgle, he just die as soon as he steps there, right? Everything there, holy shit, that's it. He would get a massive shock and he'd just die there.
The ancient Sky Titans hovers overhead, glowing with a sickly green light that illuminates all beneath its gaze.
Okay.
The roots of the great tree extend across the entire garden, and possibly into even the most hidden places within the realm of chaos itself. The lair of the Maggot Lord is thought to be the fortress of one of Nurgle's greatest champions, a great worm that wore the skin of its victims to conceal its true form.
Oh, alright, first thing I'm gonna say that I'm seeing that as a game point of view. This is a game, right? This is Warhammer 3, but I'm seeing this as a game point of view. And in Skyrim, the DLC, the Vampire DLC, I forgot the name of the DLC, right? You go to the Soul Cairn, right? Which is this dead place where dead goes and everything. And it just looks surreal from the actual game. Actual game is somewhat realistic, right? Mountains and everything, right? That is nothing that we're weird about. But if you go to this, Soul Cairn, it's like going to hell or something. Everything is weird. The skies look weird, and everything is just weird, right? This is kind of similar to that. So if somebody created some kind of a Warhammer Skyrim type game, not Warhammer Total War Warhammer type, but Skyrim type game, action RPG, third-person type of game where you do quests, side quests, things like that, you could add DLCs about this, like Garden of Nurgle or something, just like how Soul Cairn is in Skyrim. Because I get, vibes like that here.
But it is the lair of the 13th Lord that stands apart from all other places in the lands of Nurgle, and may even be beyond the control of the Plague God himself.
Okay.
None can say with certainty what lies within, though some claim to have heard the chittering of countless unseen creatures, and a single set of glowing red eyes that stand above all others.
13 Lord.
At the center of the garden, however, lies the blighted mansion of misery and mirth. It is a great fortress, half hidden by a miasma of decay.
The fuck is this? Look at the eye and everything. This is creepy.
Used into its very structure. Rotten is its foundation, racked and twisted, so that its entire structure groans and creaks when battered by toxic winds. Shutters hang from broken, filth-covered windows as sewage pours from rusted pipes. Paint continually cracks and peels away, yet the mansion can never lose its hue. Along its broken roof, hundreds of chimneys belch out dark clouds of buzzing insects. There is no explanation of how this structure is kept from collapse, save that this is the dwelling place of the Plague God, who finds limitless joy and perfect peace in the inevitability of decay. Within this mansion...
Yeah. God, this is... By the end of this video, I'm gonna be in fetal position after watching all this shit. Yeah, the Nurgle is the oldest and one of the respected gods who cares about his follower more than any other chaos gods. But seeing this is just like fucked up. Like, okay, yeah, he cares about his followers, but at what cost and what length? Look at all this shit. And by the way, past 2 years we've been living in the Nurgle's time apparently. I don't know if we're still living in the Nurgle's time, but let's be honest. Recent development tells us that we're living in Khorne's time now. But yeah, this is just fucked up.
Can be found Nurgle himself, who appeals to every visitor, both summoned and unexpected, to approach, share tales, and explore the countless rooms within. Grand staircases adorned with disintegrating rugs beckon to wandering souls, leading them to chambers where their flesh might find purpose. In the attic can be found abounding works of decay, all neatly catalogued and counted. There are endless rows of jars. Within each are plague victims from across time and space, their souls left to slowly dim as afflictions waste them away. It is within the kitchens and larders, though, that the true work of Nurgle is done. Every ingredient from which a plague might be created, every baneful component that might do harm to mortal form can be found here, skillfully labeled and ready to be added to the great black cauldron that dominates the space. So large is this cauldron that it might have held all the oceans of the world. though it is disease and contagion that flourishes within. With every stir of a mold-encrusted ladle, a dozen new maladies are born. Legends say that Nurgle is never alone in these kitchens, that he keeps a she-demon, who some might name his daughter, locked within its depths. Cursed with a vulnerability to every disease, but blessed with the ability to purge them all, the Plague Lord tests his concoctions on this prisoner, judging their potency by how long it takes her to recover. In her suffering, the captive demon weeps tears that can heal every ailment, and whispers to mortals the secret cures for all of Nurgle's ailments. So has she ended.
Yeah, okay. She's Nurgle's daughter, apparently. Really? When Nurgle tortures us constantly with all this. Oh, this is just fucked up. A demon that is constantly getting tortured by this shit, where her whole life is just crying. Apparently she can heal too. So that's why she's the, I guess, testing tool, apparently.
Entered the beliefs of 1,000 cultures under 1,000 names. The beauty and surprises of the garden will always draw Nurgle away from his work, however. He cherishes every aspect of his realm, and all those within it, cavorting with any he finds on his leisurely strolls.
Beauty.
He delights in stories told of the lands beyond his own, gifting amusing raconteurs his newest plagues before sending them back to the worlds they described. Only a rare few have ever seen visions of the garden and retained their sanity for even a short time.
Okay.
Their suffering has shaped the perception of Nurgle's realm across mortal minds, but no words can make sense of the manifested will of a chaos god. Yet some come close. Before he was executed for subversion and heresy, the poet Maximilian von Hohenstaufen penned a song of death, whose words still echo across the garden of Nurgle.
Okay.
Despair, all ye nations. There's no hope for us now, for we made this monster, placed a crown on his brow. He fed on our apathy, our pain made him swell. We gave him dominion, he gives us his hell.
That is something. Alright. That's it? There we go.
Thank you to Creative Assembly for supporting our...
Yeah, okay. So, this is sponsored by Total Warhammer 3, I guess. It makes sense the timing of the video. The Garden of Nurgle. This is just horrendous. The beauty of garden, even Nurgle, it takes time to check. Like, what the fuck? Beauty. I guess beauty is in the beholder's eye, I guess. This is just fucked up. And apparently he keeps a demon locked up where he tests things on her. I guess where obviously she has the ability to heal. And I guess like a scientist, Nurgle like, it took her months to get over this. So, and just writes down, okay, this thing takes months to heal. Yeah. Alright people, that was the Garden of Nurgle, Warhammer Fantasy by the channel The Templin Institute. If you like my reaction, and if you want to react to more Warhammer Fantasy video from Templin Institute, comment down. And yeah, check out the reaction. There's a link in the description. Check out the cards, and yeah, I'll see you next time.